Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Monie Podcast, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our first episode for 2026. I couldn't think of a better way to start this year than with conversation about health, healing, and coming back to home to be your true self. Today, I'm joined by someone who knows me from way back, my high school friend, Hasina Ireland. She's a holistic nutritionist and a registered massage therapist and the founder of Essential Healing Solutions, where the focus is whole body wellness, mind, body, and spirit. As we enter a new year, many of us are setting goals, we're making resolutions and pushing ourselves to do more. But what if 2026 is about doing things differently? What if it's about listening to our bodies, slowing down, and choosing healing over hustle? In this episode, we're going to talk about nutrition, stress, burnout, emotional health, and how small, intentional choices can completely change the way we feel. Please help me welcome my guest, Hasina Ireland. Hi.
Hello. So good to see you. Thanks for inviting me here.
Yes, thank you for being here. I couldn't think of someone more fitting to talk about this. And as we enter 2026, I felt this was just right. It's a brand new year. Everybody's making resolutions, changes around health, lifestyle. And I'm like, how can we start off just right? So I was like, Hasina, you're the right one for this. It's so special having you. How does it feel to reconnect like this?
It's so great. It's so great. And especially, as you said, the beginning of the year, it's a time where, we want to make some changes for the better. And not only that, but to keep those changes.
Yes.
That's the most important.
That's the very most important part. Before we talk credentials, who are you today? Let the people know a little bit about who you are and what you do. I know I kind of sum it up in a little bit, but tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Yes. Well, I work with a lot of people with their health, and that stemmed from my own experience with sickle cell.
Yeah.
And so living with sickle cell all my life and then going through the ups and the downs and medical system, and it propelled me into holistic nutrition, because just dealing with the medical system, that's not the entirety of how we want to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we are our own healers and discovering ways that we can heal ourselves through the body, mind, and spirit, and not just through nutrition. And it has really drastically changed who I am today. So working with myself allowed me to increase my knowledge and even my passion into holistic health and healing through many different modalities.
Yeah, I love that. I love starting there, because we're more than our titles, and you hear everything she just summed up there in what she does and how that triggered her to go onto that path. Let's get into the wellness journey. What, other than, you said you were diagnosed with sickle cell, that led you into holistic nutrition and massage therapy. Now that you're in it, what other factor would you say led you there? Because you say you love it. Now this is something that you do. It's your passion.
Yes.
Anything else that kind of led you to that path?
I would say just along my journey with being in and out of the hospital,
That's a
and
big one.
just trying to lessen that and lessen the amount of times where I had to recover from the hard medications.
Yeah.
And so that has really enabled me to find other different strategies that are effective. And so because I know the changes that have happened for myself, I've brought that into my practice and have gratification knowing that I'm able to help others.
Yes. I love that. Was there a moment where you realized your body needed something different? Was there ever a time that you're like, Yeah, I gotta shift into something.
Well, it's interesting you say that because it's not linear. And I feel that every time I have an episode or a sickle cell crisis, it kind of gets me deeper into what I do because it makes me feel that my work is not done.
Yeah.
And I have more to do, and not only for others but for myself. And starting with yourself first is number one.
Yes, yes, that is true. Starting with yourself first, you have to be able to be full before you can pour into others.
Absolutely.
What do you think, or what does holistic healing really mean? Yeah, like beyond buzzwords. It's such like, I hear that word and I just think high and mighty. Holistic
Yes.
healing.
And yes, that's true. You hear it a lot, holistic healing, holistic health. But what is it really? So it's a combination of a lot of things. It's not just physical with nutrition, food, what you're ingesting, but also your thoughts, what you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself, because self-talk is something that can manifest as positivity or illness.
Oh, wow.
So we want to actually make sure that we're thinking positive thoughts, not only positive, but being reflective.
Yeah.
And not getting down on ourselves too much, giving ourselves grace, because everybody makes mistakes. No one's perfect, but learning from that.
Yes.
And so holistic health is body, mind, spirit, not only focusing on physical, but also the mental aspect and your spiritual aspect.
Oh.
So bringing all of that into one.
It's interesting that you touched on a point where you said also your thoughts, you have to think positive and stuff. I read somewhere, I think it was on Instagram, that some people have these illnesses because of their emotions. Like if you're angry with someone or you have resentment towards something, it shows up in the body in a certain way.
Yes, absolutely.
You believe that? Because I was like, really? Like if you hate someone or if you have this bitter remorse, you have pain in your body and it's linked to those emotions.
Exactly. And that also, in some of my energetic work, working with Reiki healing and chakra balancing, we have different energy centers in our body, and all of those energy centers actually correspond to different organs, different systems, different emotions, and paying attention to those can actually get us to be more familiar with what our body is asking us, because not certain symptoms, but all symptoms are a way of our body communicating with us. So if we're listening to that, we can correspond that to different aspects of our body, and then we can actually address those in a holistic way.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's good to know, because sometimes you think it's all medical related or there really is a deep underlying diagnosis, but sometimes it's just
us.
It's just us. It's just us.
That's right.
Our emotions just try to really tell us something.
And the deeper or the longer we feel certain ways, then that's when it manifests. It's not just 5 minutes or this day we feel a certain way and then it's going to manifest. No. When we feel something deeply or even think something deeply, it penetrates into our cellular level. And that frequency can manifest physically until if we're ignoring that, then it manifests to the point where we may need medical assistance.
Wow, that's very interesting. So some of the people that I see in my life and have told me certain things, doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me. I kind of pinpoint a little bit of what you're saying now, like it's tied to the emotions. So many people are exhausted mentally and physically. What are you seeing most in some of your clients that you treat?
I would say there's a lot of adrenal fatigue, so hormonal imbalance, which can spread through weight management issues, and pain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are the big ones right now. Hormonal balance. Touch a little bit on that for me. Like, what do you mean? Is it more like entering early menopause or premenopause? What are some of those things looking
So it's Both for male and female.
Yeah.
So for females, yes, we have so many things that we deal with.
Yeah.
So many different stages of our lives. So yes, definitely menopause, perimenopause. And for men, it's a lot of weight management issues, back pain, and emotional ups and downs. But we all have it. We all have that. And that all stems from our hormones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you have a client that comes in and presents some of these things, what are some of the main treatments that you suggest, or how do you treat or suggest any recommendations
Right.
for them?
So in terms of treatments for body work, there would be massage therapy. And on the flip side, for the nutritional side of things, I use different techniques and different devices that can pinpoint what's your weakest link. So knowing what your weakest link in the body is based on your meridian pathways. So we go through your acupressure points. So you can think of it like you have nerves flowing throughout all your organs, and they extend throughout your fingers and toes.
Yes.
So putting pressure on certain points on those areas can send an energetic frequency to the cell of the organ or system, and we can see on a database on the system what frequency level those areas have. So if it's a lower frequency, then that can give you an idea that it has a lower vibration. It can go more into a pathological stage if it's not dealt with. So we work on your most weakest link, and that weakest link is usually the cause of your symptoms. So once we are able to detect that, then we focus on different aspects like food, nutrition, emotional states, and also your lifestyle, because what we do every day makes it's a part of us, and it makes us who we are. And get into certain weakest when you know your weakest link, we get to focus on that, and focusing on that can increase the energy frequency of those areas, and that can start to reverse your symptoms.
I like that. Reverse the symptoms. What type of things would you say you're able to reverse? So what about like diabetes? Is that something that you guys can...
So
I've heard that it's reversible. I don't know. Is it?
So because I am a holistic practitioner, not a medical doctor, there is no cure, and I can't say that it's going to lessen your symptoms specifically for that person. Everyone's different. But what I found in my practice is that once we detect your weakest link, we can support those areas that are deficient. And once those areas are stronger, then you notice that you're not having those symptoms anymore. Yes.
I like that. I think I want to do one of those workup checkouts. I'm going to have to check myself out.
Yes, the bioscan assessment is amazing.
Bioscan assessment. What are some signs people ignore that their body is asking for help? Like, a lot of people ignore the signs until it's way too late.
That's true. And a lot of signs aren't necessarily in your face all the time. They can be very subtle. They can be something like, your appetite changes, your mood changes, your bowels change. That's a huge one. And so there's just subtle differences in that we can find in our everyday life. So just paying attention to how we feel. Even if you sometimes feel off, that's a signal that your body's telling you, I need you to pay attention to something. So the body whispers before it screams. So once it whispers, you have to listen to those whispers. And if you don't, then when it screams, that's when you're actually feeling something that you feel that you need to go to the doctor to.
And now is the time.
Take care of.
Now is the time. We're talking about changing our health and we're speaking about nutrition. People hear the word nutrition and think restriction. You know, how do you reframe that in a way so it doesn't feel like, that sounds a bit dietish?
Yes. Yes. Nutrition is not restriction. And that's a great point that you brought up, just like dieting restriction, right? So we don't want to restrict, we just want to support. So nutrition is support. Nutrition is giving your body support and some love. So not ignoring your symptoms and supporting your body in healthy ways, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. A little TLC.
That's it.
Yeah. You know, what are small, realistic changes people can make in this month, January, without being overwhelmed? You know, let's say baby steps. What would you suggest for someone who's listening who wants to really make some realistic changes? How would they?
I would say, so small changes, when we think big, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. We have big aspirations and that's great, but remember, things are one step at a time. If it's not that way, then we're not going to continue on that path. So small changes would be something like increasing your water intake. Many of us are deficient, I find, or not. We don't drink enough water. So our cells get dehydrated. And when that happens, a lot of other symptoms can happen within our bodies. So drinking more, having more movement, not necessarily in the gym, but just move. Just move, going for a walk, doing something small, something you enjoy, even dancing in your room. Doing something that moves your body, getting the circulation going. And taking care of yourself, taking time for yourself. A lot of us are so busy in this, in this time, working, family, and yes, we all have to take care of our responsibilities, but at the same time, we can't do that if we're not taking care of ourselves. So yourself comes first.
Exactly.
You come first. So movement, water. And also what I feel is most important as well is just kind of clearing the clutter. Your physical environment, the people you surround yourself with, that has a huge part in how we see ourselves. And it can propel us into something greater or not so great.
That's true. That's a big one that she said. And it's so fitting because we're talking about changing for the new year, January, and clutter, a lot of that. It could be people, even your surroundings. You have to really declutter to move forward.
That's right.
I love that point. And I got to really start drinking a lot of water. I felt you were talking to me when you said that. I was like, she knows. Yeah, I have to drink a lot more water. I try to put a timer on, like a little alarm. And every time it goes off, I'm like, okay, you got to drink some water.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And just move in. My mom and I have started to like walk around our neighborhood.
Oh,
we just
great.
Take these little walks together, and that's helping us with the movement part, as you mentioned. So that's something we want to continue to do. And so definitely encourage you guys to really try and increase your water intake and get the body moving.
And when you have someone to do it with, that's even better.
Even
the
better.
Social aspect.
Yeah, because we're just walking and talking and laughing, and it's just like, are we like feeling burnt or anything right now? No. So definitely, I love that. How does food impact mood, sleep, hormones, and anxiety? Are there certain foods that affect any of those things?
Many foods affect all of those things. Yes. So we know that, fast foods and
that's a big one.
High sugar content, caffeine even can sometimes cause us to jitter or affect the hormones in certain ways. Cause headaches if you don't have it, so you'll need more. So certain things can induce symptoms, and certain foods and nutrients can help support you so that you're not as tired, you're more energetic, you have more oxygenation in your cells so that you can actually get through the day properly.
You see? I love fast food, but now that you say that, there's sometimes I get these episodes of, sometimes I get a lot of headaches. I'm trying to keep a food diary just to see like what trigger some of these symptoms that I have, and headaches is like at the top of the list. And I'm just like, I don't know what's triggering my headaches, man. Like I'm trying to pinpoint it, but my doctor says you're not drinking a lot of water. So I'm thinking maybe that's the
Dehydration.
Yeah, it's like you got to drink more water, drink more water, drink more water. So
And
I
it could
thought
be
it
something
was food.
simple as that. Yeah.
As water.
That's right.
And my mom puts it to like, sleep enough. You're always on the go. You come in, you go out. You come in, you go out. You come in, you go out. I'm just like, I know, I just don't stay still. So it could be my lifestyle and the fact that I'm always busy on the go and I'm not resting enough. But I think, what are your take on keeping a food diary just to like pinpoint some of the things that you intake and how it's affecting,
Yes, that's a huge part of it because I do suggest my
Yeah.
clients do a food diary because it can be very insightful. You don't always remember what you ate yesterday or the day before.
Yes.
And it can be something very small that can throw everything off. So keeping a food diary is very helpful, but not only the food diary, if you're taking any supplements,
Oh, yes.
if you're
It's a big one.
going to the washroom, if you're having a bowel movement or not having a bowel movement, that can also back things up as well. So not only a food diary, but what you're doing that day, your emotions, your bowel movements, supplements or not supplements, your
keep a
water
track.
intake.
Yeah.
So all of those factors do play a role. So a food diary really puts that in perspective.
Yeah. I find it's helpful because sometimes when I have doctor's visits, they're just like, what's been going on over the last few days? When last did you do this? Or what did you eat? And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, let's try and track these things. And it's been helpful, you know?
Good.
I'm just eager for them to ask me. I'm like, ooh, ask me.
I know. Because you can look back.
I can
right?
look back and I have the answers. So definitely we suggest keeping a food diary, because we really underestimate just how much what we eat affects how we feel.
That's right.
Massage is often treated as like a luxury. I love getting a massage. Why is it actually essential to get a massage?
Massages are great,
Mhm.
just, for self-care and for relaxation. But it's not only that. It's
Yeah.
not only relaxation. Massage therapy is therapeutic. It helps with decompressing or having a better nervous system.
Yes.
So it helps to slow down the nervous system firing. And so it helps with your emotions. It helps with better circulation. With a lot of tension, I find a lot of people have tension in their bodies. And one thing that's pretty modern is like a tech neck. You're looking down all the time.
Yes.
I see people looking down all the time.
Yes. On their phone.
On their phone, looking down. And, when you're working at a desk as well, it's not always ergonomic.
true.
So you're still looking down. So you're
Yeah.
causing a lot of stress in your upper
Strain
body
right there. Yeah,
and
man.
strain. And so there's a lot of tightness in the neck, and that affects how we feel, and it constricts our body so we're not even breathing properly, getting enough oxygen in our body. So it helps to get rid of some knots that may be
Yeah.
affecting us in those ways. And after those are released, it's such a great feeling because you don't even notice how
Yeah.
tense you are until that's released.
Yeah.
And so massage therapy is therapeutic in helping to relieve pain
Yeah.
and to improve your emotions as well.
A good massage. It's true. I often try and get one. I've increased it. I'm now at like maybe twice a month. I used to not go. I used to go like once every 3 months, and now she's like, you need to come and see me more often. But you're right. You looking down and just feeling that tension, it affects a lot. You just feel like something's off. When I went to see my massage person, I told her, I said, I'm dying. I used those words. I said, I'm literally dying. I don't know, but my neck is not right. There's something off about my neck, And then when she worked on me, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm brand new. And she was just like, it's how you sleep, and maybe it's the pillow. And she mentioned some little things, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's all of that.
That's it.
It's all of that.
Be mindful throughout our day.
Yeah.
Because we don't necessarily know that realize that once we're in the moment.
Gosh.
But whenever you're mindful, just kind of straighten up, and you can even breathe better, getting more oxygen in your body.
Yeah.
So it makes a huge difference.
It makes a big difference, because she told me some things that I can use and do to change. And when I start to do that, I was mindful of what were some of the triggers that was causing my neck to feel a certain way. But it's very helpful to know that. You mentioned the body releasing something. What does the body release during body work?
It can release a lot of endorphins, and so some of those feel-good hormones. It just releases tension, as we spoke about, and just having enough oxygen going through our bodies.
Yes.
It helps us even breathe better, because a lot of us breathe shallow, and even getting some remedial exercises afterwards is very helpful, so that you're mindful throughout the day.
Yes. And rest. Rest is such a critical part of healing. Why would you say rest is a critical part of healing?
Well, rest is a healing mechanism. If we're not resting, our body doesn't have the time to actually heal.
Yeah.
And so we need to give our bodies the time to heal. And a lot of that is when we are in a deep sleep. So if you're not getting your deep sleep, think about that.
I need to get my rest.
Yes.
I hope you guys are enjoying our conversation. Again, we're speaking to Hasina Ireland. And if you guys have any questions, anything that maybe we didn't touch on, do send us an email, and we will be able to send it to her to get an answer for you guys. What happens when we never slow down long enough to feel? We're always on the go, and then we never truly take the time to just slow down for a minute, pause. We're always just, what happens when we don't slow down,
Well, that can lead us we're more susceptible to illness. We're more susceptible to getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And we're more susceptible for our bodies not to absorb nutrients better, and our body just doesn't function properly anymore.
Yeah. Is it safe to say that we cause ourselves to get sick, like with the flu and stuff like that, when we don't slow down? Because I have a weak immune system. I don't know. And I hate getting sick. I'm always getting sick. And I feel this is the reason why, because I'm always...
And exactly. So our bodies are more susceptible to those viruses, to those bacteria. And being mindful of that is very important, as you know. So it's great that you're mindful of that.
Yeah.
So, looking at your overall work day, your work week, your work month, seeing how you can tweak that a little bit so that you can give your body a little bit more TLC.
Yes. Because I have friends that say I never get sick. I have a strong immune system. I never get a cold. I never get sick. I hate those kind of people. I'm joking. I mean, they just rub it in your face like, I never get sick. My immune system is so strong. I never get sick. Is it that they don't get rest? They're not resting. So I'm like, I don't know what it is. What is it that's the difference with someone that's easily to get sick and somebody who's like, I never get sick. I'm just built this way.
As you said,
built this way.
As you said, they're built that way. It's their biochemistry. We're all different.
Yeah.
There can be one person that, is the same like you, who is always on the go, doing so much, but is not necessarily affected.
Yeah.
So some of us have different things going on in our bodies, so we're not all the same. So there could be something else going on with you that's not going on with someone else. Just like if you eat something, it's really good for you, and for somebody else, it's not. So unfortunately, it's not the same for all of us, which is why we all need a sort of different aspect to how we heal ourselves.
Heal ourselves, yes. That's true. And this is the year for that healing. We want to start off the new year this month, focus on healing so that we can get through to our next couple of months. Women, I want to talk about us especially. Women, we carry a lot. And, that's physically, emotionally. What should we be paying more attention to as women?
As women?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I feel that we should be paying more attention to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We give not way too much, but we do give a lot. A lot. And we need some of that energy for ourselves. So I feel that we need to take more care of ourselves and not necessarily neglect who we need to take care of and all of our responsibilities. But I feel that we don't take enough care for ourselves.
It's true. We pour out a lot and then we receive so little.
Yes.
So
it's only up to us to give ourselves what we need.
That. So definitely. How do hormones, stress, and lifestyle intersect with each other, would you say?
Hormones, stress, and lifestyle?
Yes. There's the hormone one. That's a big one.
That's a huge one. And that's actually all linked together. Hormones, stress, and lifestyle. Mm-hmm. We can stress ourselves with our lifestyle. And by doing that can throw off our hormones.
Oh my gosh.
So it's all interconnected. And not only that, but it's out of our hands in terms of, depending on your age, what's going on with our own hormones, perimenopause, menopause, premenopause, and even our menstrual cycle. Mm-hmm. It's up and down because of the hormone changes throughout those times. So it's good to be mindful of our own cycle, and when we're in certain cycles or stages of our lives, how we need to slow down or the different aspects we need to take to lessen the stress.
Lessen that, yeah.
Yes.
And that's something that I've had to do is know some of my triggers, know what situations or things that are triggering me to feel certain ways. I had to alter and change my lifestyle. It had a lot to do with me not sleeping. Just juggling so many things, and then it just spiraled out of control. So you're right, all three are interconnected with each other. So it's good to really be mindful and just kind of know some of those triggers and tap into it right before it really gets out of hand.
And also having the food journal, getting back to that, it would be great to include that in the food journal. Mm-hmm. So it won't be only a food journal, but some all aspects triggers, like your hormonal triggers and cycles and things like that, because that can change our emotions and that can make us feel and do different things at different times. So the mindfulness is very important there.
Definitely. And because of that, it's caused me to feel disconnected from my body. What would you tell women who feel disconnected from their bodies? Like, just disconnected, like, we're not together. Mm-hmm. Because of some of the things that has happened and changed, and, your body changes as we get older. But I personally feel that I've disconnected from my body. What would you suggest, or what would you tell women who feel like they've disconnected?
Mm-hmm. I feel that, it's important for us to speak about these things because a lot of us feel a certain way and we don't necessarily talk about it, or we feel that we're going through something ourselves, but it's very common
Yes.
for females to have certain symptoms or feel disconnected. So it's great to speak these things out.
Yeah.
Write things down, get it out, and not hold things in, because that can just spiral into
that domino effect.
the domino effect.
Yeah.
So speaking to others, and getting therapy, self-care, massage therapy.
That's a big
Things like that can really help to get you back connected to yourself.
back at one. And I have a therapist. So you're right. Those are the things that really do help. I've had to come to terms with feeling like my body betrayed me in certain ways. And so you're right. Some of those things that you've suggested, it's not my fault. I can't blame myself for certain things. And you just have to speak life over yourself and just really try and
grace.
live it. Yes. Grace. Wellness as a lifestyle, it's not just a phrase, but why do people struggle to sustain their wellness goals? A lot of people make these big wellness goals. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to do this. But we struggle. Sometimes it's just big talk, Why do people struggle to sustain some of their wellness goals?
Yeah, so it can be not setting the right boundaries sometimes, or not setting the right amount of goals strategically. We want something right away. It's not going to come right away. We're not patient enough.
Yes,
I feel we're not patient enough.
That's true.
It didn't take us 2 days to get to where we were, or even a year. It was a longer duration of time. So it may take the same amount of time to reverse that. So just being patient with ourselves and giving ourselves just little increments, and not just jumping to, okay, this is going to happen in 2 or 3 months. So being more patient and just doing little increments at a time and being consistent. And that's one of the things that stop us from actually getting to where we want to be, is not being consistent.
Consistency. Love that.
Consistency is the key.
All right. Now, how do we move from like a quick fix to like a long-term care fix? Is there a way that we could do that? Because I think now in our day and age, 2026, a lot of people are just looking for things, as you mentioned. It's not going to happen that quick, but how do we move from quick fixes to just long-term care so that we're not always, flip-flopping back and forth?
Doing one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So we know the end goal. And so what does it take to get there? And so one thing at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and we can get there. And being patient with ourselves allows us to do that if we're consistent, and not getting down on ourselves when, something goes off, because it's inevitable. Something is always going to go a way that we don't necessarily want it to, or certain things come up which could deter us from our path.
Yes.
But if we keep our mind on that path and just do little at a time, then it's inevitable that we will get there. But just being patient with ourselves is very important.
Patient is the word, everyone. Patience.
And this day and age, it's rare. Patience is very rare. Everything is so quick, and our attention spans are not as though it used to be.
It's true.
But recognizing that and being mindful can really help.
It's true. It's true. That's something that I'm working on. And I actually put it on my list to be more patient, because a lot of people tell me I don't have a lot of patience. I'm telling you, I just want things now, just now. And so I'm working on being patient. It's really hard.
It's challenging. It is challenging. But the most challenging things can reap the greatest rewards.
Yes, that is true. So give yourself grace.
Yes.
If someone, like anyone right now is listening, if someone only did one thing differently this year, what should it be? Drop it on them.
One thing different this year.
This is it. They need to hear it. You gotta do one thing differently this year. This is it.
Well, I wouldn't say something in particular because everyone has their own situation and circumstance. But what I would say is that we all know what we need to change. We just don't do it.
Yeah.
And it is very challenging. But what I would say is recognize that one thing that seems to hold you back, or that one thing that you feel that is not carrying you or giving you what you need to move forward. It may be the thing that is the most challenging and hardest to do or not do, but do it. The hardest thing, we all know what it is. We all know what it is. So take that and do something different, because if you continue doing that thing, you're not getting anywhere. And you know that.
I love
So take that one thing that's the most challenging and do something different. Doing something different is going to give you a different result.
You know who you are. She's
talking
to you.
That is it.
Yeah.
Do something different.
That.
Out of your comfort zone. That's
you hit it on the head. Especially when you said, everybody knows what it is.
Yes.
It's just like coming to terms with it, or just facing it. Just step up to it and do it. We know what it is.
Yes.
That deep down gut feeling. We know, because when you were talking, I'm like, I know what it is.
That's it. That's what it is for you then.
You have to just, approach it head on and just really focus on fixing it, changing it, doing what you need to do so that
it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's what needs to be done.
Yeah. Your job is very interesting. I've been to your office and I came there. I'm going to come for myself, though, next time. But what is the best part of your job? Like, what do you love about what you do? Because you look like you really love what you do.
I love it.
Little baby,
It is. It is. So I think it's the feeling of helping others and the feeling that, I get is when they are grateful for how they feel afterwards.
That's the best.
That's the greatest thing.
That's the best.
Helping someone who haven't been able to get the help they needed from someone else, or just not sure what to do, just getting focused on what needs to change or how they need to approach things, and, just being in their wellness journey. It's very rewarding.
And you've been able to give answers to individuals that just like, oh my gosh, do you know how long I've been struggling with this? And I just came to you and you just told me what it is. Have you had anything like that?
That's it. Yes. Some of the greatest, some clients that I get, many clients, and that what I love to focus on is those individuals who've been other places, been to doctors, been to specialists, not knowing what's going on with their body. Doctors, they're great, but they're not trained in holistic health and nutrition and mindfulness and energetic healing and all of those things that are actually a part of us.
You see?
That we need to, pay attention to. And so having the opportunity to share that with others and getting them to know what to do and helping them through that, it's very
really
rewarding.
good feeling.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love that. It's true. That's the best feeling when you know that you can give someone the answer that they've been searching for such a long time. It's like the best feeling. So really love that. Continue to do that.
Thank you. I will.
Now, we're going to get into some rapid reflections. I'm going to say a few little questions, and it's rapid. You got to come fast with it.
Okay. I'll do my best.
One habit people think is healthy but isn't.
One habit people think is healthy that isn't is eating
junk food. No, that's not it. Which one is it?
I would say eating three meals a day.
Oh, really? You mean that's not healthy?
I wouldn't say it's not healthy, but it's not the way people think.
Oh, you got to touch on that a little bit for me.
So,
but I don't really eat 3 meals a day anyways. I think I skip breakfast all the time. I skip breakfast a lot.
Not everyone has an appetite in the morning.
In the morning?
I don't have an appetite in the morning myself. And so I think that's a misconception.
Wow.
Not that it's not healthy. I think it's a misconception.
Okay.
That you don't need to eat 3 meals a day.
Oh, aha. There you go. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm joking. Well, for some it is, but I guess you have to be in that.
It's. I feel, my opinion, misconception. 3 meals a day.
Oh. I like that one. I really do, because I've always felt bad. I'm like, I missed breakfast again. I didn't eat.
It's not.
But I end up eating later on. It's just in the morning. I just don't feel to eat.
Everyone has a different schedule, and sometimes and there's different shifts for work.
That's true.
So even eating late at night, it depends on what time you actually go to bed. So you can still eat late at night and be fine.
That's me.
As long as you don't go to bed, an hour later or right away. So that's another misconception. I
like that one. That one is a good thing. All right. One thing your body taught you the hard way. Your body. One thing your body taught you the hard way.
My body taught me
the hard way. You're like, man, that was a rough one,
Not to overdo it.
Okay. Not to overdo it. And I think most of us can relate to that, You just go through it and then your body just teaches you like, yeah. You should stop when I told you to.
Exactly. Because if you don't stop, your body will tell you when to stop.
Yes.
It'll stop for you.
Oh my God.
And for me, having sickle cell anemia, going overboard,
your body will be like,
I can get a crisis from that, and that's it.
That is a hard
at that
way.
point. But I tend to work a lot myself, so I need to be more mindful and give myself grace and not do too much.
It's true.
I do my best, but at the same time, if I go overboard, my body tells me.
What do you think you're doing?
Exactly.
Now, a food your body thanks you for. One food your body says, yes, thanks. I needed that.
Beets.
Really?
Beets.
Oh my gosh, beets. Okay. What's the benefits of having...
I'd say it's great for nitric oxide, to increase your nitric oxide levels, and that can help to improve your oxygenation in your cells. And once we're dehydrated, that can cause so many things in our body. One common thing is headaches. So not having enough oxygen, it doesn't allow our cells to function the way it should. So that helps to give our cells more energy to the cells.
Beets. That's a big one. A boundary that protects your health. Your health. What's one boundary that protects your health that you just have up? You're like, yeah, this protects me. I'm good where it is. Thanks.
A boundary that protects my health. Can you explain that a little bit more?
I know for me, a boundary is if I help someone, especially with money, you know what I mean? It protects my mental health. Like if they say, can lend me $100 and I do it and then they come again, I'm like, no, can't keep on do that. So I can only just help you one time. Because especially with money, that's a boundary that I have. I find if you're lending money to the certain people, same person over and over and over, it affects you, especially when there's trouble to get it back. So that's one boundary for me. Then it protects my health and especially my mental health. You know, do you have like a boundary that you've set in place that you find it protects your health?
Negative people.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yes, negative people.
You can't cross the line.
Cut off.
Yeah, that's a big one because they kind of influence you and they sometimes don't really wish you well, or they're not on the same level on you. They don't see your goals, your dreams. They just can't see it, or they discourage you from going further.
That's right. And it's not always obvious.
Yes.
It's not always obvious, but for me, I feel that I sense energies.
Yes.
I'm pretty sensitive to that. And if I ignore that, then
you'll reap it in the end.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. So it's listening to myself and not ignoring those signals.
I love that. Energy speaks volumes. Definitely. And one word you want people to carry into 2026. One word.
One word to carry through
your word, guys.
2026.
I felt like you said it throughout the interview.
I would say consistency.
All right.
Consistency.
Definitely. That's something I'm working on is consistency. You have to always be with it to see the results. Consistency. That's your one word.
And don't get down on yourself. I mean, we all want something quick all the time. We want the quick results and all of that, but it's not going to come necessarily, for everyone. Sometimes, one person can reap the rewards in a very short time, and that's great. But for many of us, it takes a while. And if you don't see the results in a month or 2 months or even a year, that is fine. That's okay. There will be a breakthrough. And patience comes along with that.
See, those are the two. Consistency.
Yes,
we got to sneak that one in. And patience.
Consistency and patience.
Oh, man, they do go hand in hand. Which brings us to a segment of our show called Good Things Are Coming. This is a segment where I like to leave our listeners or viewers with a positive affirmation to help you get through the week. So here is your Good Things Are Coming. Good things are coming because it won't be through exhaustion, but through care, through Nutritionment, and through listening to your body instead of ignoring it. Healing is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Choosing yourself is not selfish. All right, so that's my Good Things Are Coming. Hasina, you want to drop a little Good Things Are Coming, ... Good
things are coming because you know what you want and you know how to get it. So be patient with yourself. And if you are consistent with yourself, it'll show up because you deserve it and you deserve it. So keep going.
We're going to snap for
Keep
that.
going.
I love that one. Yep, and Hasina, thank you so much for being here. It was such a, breathtaking experience just to speak with you and
thank you.
Get an inside look at, your job and what you do and, your passion. You can tell you're passionate about what you do.
I am.
It was grounding. It was necessary. It was a necessary conversation. And, we thank you for the work that you do and how you make people feel whole. Again, let people know where you are if they want to contact you, reach out to you, maybe a website or your IG handles, any information you want to leave with us.
Yes, so you can check out my website at essentialhealingsolutions.ca And I've started a YouTube channel at Hasina Ireland, so you can check that out, subscribe, and leave any comments or questions, and hopefully we can communicate and maybe perhaps figure out your weakest link.
Yes, I love that. Start a YouTube, eh? I'm gonna have to subscribe to that. Gotta check that out. Love that. Love that. To everyone listening, let this be the year you stop waiting until burnout forces you to slow down. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs a reset. Subscribe down below to the Monie Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Here's to a healthier, gentler, and a more intentional 2026. Bye for now.